This is how I was first introduced to the wooden spoon. It wasn't through food. It was through my ass getting hit. If I'm Italian, you need to have marinara sauce on you at all times. It's like one of our things. So Diso's is an Italian-American sandwich truck. We're basically like an Italian deli on wheels, specializing in all types of Italian sandwiches. We've definitely fed thousands and thousands of people on the streets. We've made thousands and thousands of sandwiches. You know, not only we're on the street, but we're like open to the public, where you could actually see your sandwich being made. And I've seen people just like walk by and like, oh wow, look at those sandwiches, let's stop. And they can look inside the window and they see like the assembly line of just sandwiches just being created in front of them.
There's always a big line here, so I was like, if there's that big of a line, it must be worth the wait.
All right guys, it's 7 a.m. We've arrived at the commissary. So basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna load up a cart, load up the trucks, meats, cheese, chicken, our cold cuts, all our like toppings and stuff like that. They'll get loaded up onto the truck every day. So right now the biggest thing we're trying to do is load up these trucks quick. I want to get into the city so we can get to the spot and secure it for the day. 2 days ago, I noticed my radiator leaking, the temperature gauge getting hot. I think there's a leak in the radiator, so I have to check it every morning until my mechanic gets here on Friday. So that's what I'm doing before we leave, because the last thing we need is to be smoking on the Queensboro Bridge. So the commute from the commissary is typically like an average 20 minutes, 25 minutes, depending on traffic. Timing is everything. I know it's gonna be like a busy day. If you're not ready and your prep's not done before like the lunch or dinner service starts, you're and there's no making it back. So this is our spot right here. We're gonna start turning on the propane. We'll turn on the generator, get the grills going, start slicing. Let's do it. All right guys, first thing we're gonna do, the sauce needs time to cook. So we're gonna make the sauce now. Typically what we do is we're gonna oil the pot, okay? We're gonna throw some garlic, we're gonna throw some onions to sweeten it up. Garlic for a nice flavor. Onions to make it nice, a little sweet. So we got our ground tomatoes here with a little puree. I don't think they're San Marzano, but they're just regular ground tomatoes. I think they're made in New Jersey, which New Jersey is a slept-on state when it comes to tomatoes. It's called the Garden State for a reason, right guys? This is a marinara sauce, basically. It's a simple, straightforward marinara sauce. So basically the sauce stems from like Sicily, where my parents come from. This is like their sauce that they made Sundays that when we would go over their house, have big family meals. And I basically just carry that recipe to here. That's going on our it's called the Big Paulie sandwich. It's basically our chicken parm. So yeah, that's the sauce. We'll cook it down by like 10:30, we'll take it off. So I had a friend, we used to walk around Midtown looking for like a good Italian sandwich. At the time, there wasn't any options in terms of that. So when I did get the truck, I knew exactly where to go. I wanted to come back to Midtown. It was like a hit, like right off the bat. So I'm here with Sakiel. She's basically my lead person here on the truck. She's been with me for 8 years now. You know, she started just as like a part-time person, just working like the fryer and things like that, but super dedicated, hardworking, responsible. So guys, next step is we're gonna prep for our meatballs. So what we're gonna do is the meatballs goes for the Sally Ball sandwich, which is like our typical traditional meatball parm. So basically we have here, Saki's put in some eggs. We're gonna throw some breadcrumbs in. These are seasoned breadcrumbs, garlic, parsley. We'll do some salt and some pepper. After she mixes them, we'll start hand rolling them. We'll put them here in the tray. We'll fry them a little bit just to crisp up the ends, and then we'll drop them in the sauce to finish them. You know, like I said, we're an Italian deli on wheels. You walk into any Italian deli in the country, you're gonna find a meat slicer, right? You know, all our meats are sliced fresh right before the service. We have like our capicola, we have hot soppressata, and for the real Italians out there, we have our mortadella. Starting off with like the prosciutto di Parma. So this is a very, very popular selling item off the truck. So as you can see, it's like a real labor-intensive job to like trim this every day and break it down. So now we'll throw it on here and we'll slice it up. The key basically is keeping it super thin. You'll get more flavor and juice when it's thin. All our meats basically come from my meat purveyor, Romeo Brothers, the guys in Bensonhurst, Brooklyn. I think growing up in an Italian neighborhood, there's always like this thing of where to find like the best pizza. There's always like this thing of where's the best Italian sandwich shops. So it's always like been a thing in the back of my head of being like, you know, if I'm gonna put out this product, it's gonna have to be like sourced from like the best places. I'm gonna have to find the best bread, the best cold cut guy. And sure, anybody could do it. Finding the source and sourcing it is a completely different story. It's very difficult to do. I'm here with Alfonso. He's gonna show us how we typically do our breaded chicken cutlets. The chicken cutlets, they come trimmed and they come clean. They get drudged in the egg, and then we bread them in the seasoning, the seasoned breadcrumbs here. And this is our most popular product too, so chicken cutlets go flying off the shelves here. So Alfonso today will typically do about 17 to 20 bags of chicken cutlets. They're 10-pound bags each, so do the math, 170 to 200 pounds of chicken cutlets. So all of our chicken cutlets are fried made to order. We have someone who works the fryer. Chicken cutlets are constantly getting dropped. We don't need to wait for orders of chicken cutlets. They're just constantly cooking because it's, like I said, it's our best seller. As you can see, we're working in like tight quarters here. It's a food truck. The good thing is we all have stations, so everyone's kind of like in their own spot. At the end of the day, it's a quick lunch service. We're only here for like 4.5, 5 hours for lunch. So, we do what we gotta do, we bang it out, we go home. As you can see, we're bread movers. We move a lot of bread. And I source from 2 different bakeries. One of the guys out in Queens, one of the guys out in the Bronx. 5 different types of breads that we use. So the bread, that's kind of like a business secret thing. I don't really like to give that away. I've had a lot of issues with, people trying to ask me where my breads are from, a lot of competitors, because I think that's like the whole thing with sandwiches. It basically comes down to the bread. Anyone could put prosciutto or slap a chicken cutlet on a bread. At the end of the day, it really, I think 75% of the sandwich is where you get it from, where it's sourced, how it's made. All right, so what I'm doing is I'm making a batch of our eggplants. We saute our eggplants here. We salt them up to suck all the water out of them. We have a bunch of veggie sandwiches like eggplant or broccoli rabe. Actually, one of the sandwiches is called the Au Marie, which is our eggplant parm. Marie is my mom, so that's my little homage to her. Oh Marie, oh Maria. You know it, huh? This guy's Italian, he knows. All the rest are American gangster guys, like all these crazy names like Lefty Louie and Joey Shakes and Frankie Fingers. It's 11 o'clock. We're basically ready for service to start. We already have orders coming in, so we're gonna hurry this up. We have delivery orders, we have call-in orders, so we're ready to roll. We're just finishing our vodka sauce, and then we're popping the window open. I know you've seen tip jars before, but you've never seen one like this, all right? The you tip me. So if you're familiar with like Goodfellas, you pay me, this is tip me. Hey, what's up, man?
Can I do a half odds unseated?
Half on seated. They're gonna call your name when it's ready, right? Vinny, I've known for years now. He's been coming to the truck every Thursday. Always the first customer of the day. He's on the timing better than we are. If we're not at our window open, he's like, what's the problem today? Is something going on? Did you run late?
Usually I'll order the buffalino, so he suggested I try the spicy chicken. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you so much.
Have a good weekend. God bless.
Thank you.
So when it comes to like our popular sandwiches, the spicy chicken is super popular. It's our take on like the whole spicy chicken out there. We just have like an Italian version to it. So first we put on the chipotle aioli sauce. We'll add a little pickles to that, a little crunch. Throw some arugula. So I got the spicy honey. All right, we got our chicken cutlet. That goes down. A little provolone cheese. Just a little spicy hot soppressata on there. Boom. Grilled onions. Put it on top, a little topping. All right, that's the spicy chicken sandwich. Our lunch rush is craziness. Our team is, as you can see, we're like super professional. We're like on it. We could bang out hundreds and hundreds of sandwiches per hour if we needed to. So, what's up, man?
Yeah, I'll shoot a big Polly.
Big Paulie? You want a hero or half?
I'll do a hero.
Next one we're doing is the Big Paulie, which is our famous chicken Parmesan sandwich. Sprinkle a little basil on top, shaved Parmesan Reggiano again. Our Marinara sauce that we made earlier. Put on our chicken cutlet. There we go. So in addition to being like super popular on the street in Midtown, we get some people that come to the truck, celebrity guys like Jimmy Fallon. I know he's like a fan of us. We're serving just hundreds of people a day, but you don't know who anyone is like at the end of the day. So like we try to put love into every sandwich that we're putting out. There you go. They're gonna call your name, all right, when it's ready. Thank you. Okay, so we got the Godfather sandwich. This is like the biggest, it has like the most on it. Do a little pesto. All right, we got some hot cherry peppers. We got some chicken cutlet. We got a layer of prosciutto. We do a layer of the salami, some fresh mutts. Okay, so we have like a little topping of eggplant, and then the last is we do a little topping of sauce. So yeah, there's a huge difference between Italian-American sandwiches and like Italian sandwiches that you go to Italy and you'll find like the differences between like American Italian is it's a little bigger of a sandwich and it's just like layer on top of layer on top of layer. Making and building a sandwich, there's an art to it. Anybody could just throw some together on a pile of bread, but this ratio to that ratio, you want every bite to taste the same. There were some crazy challenges when I first started. I got involved with my cousin in the business, who I'm super close with. I grew up with him, his first cousin. And basically, like, we started this kind of like together. There were some things, he was going through some personal things in his life that he got caught up with, to the point where, you know, we owed vendors money. I remember one day and I was just like, I gotta give this up, it's not gonna work out. And I put the ad on Craigslist to sell the truck and the business. And I remember just like sitting there in my living room being like, this was a complete like disaster. Literally like that week, I got a call from the Food Network to come onto the Great Food Truck Race, which was like a life-changing experience for me because I was like, I knew I had something, you know? 2 o'clock, basically the lunch rush, the mad lunch rush is kind of winding down now. By 2:30, it's usually finished. I would say from 2:30 to 3, it's like kind of over. Everyone's back to the office, and so on and so forth. So we're winding it down. I'm gonna make a couple more sandwiches. We're actually almost sold out of bread. So if there's no bread, there's no sandwiches, right? So after 2:30, we break everything down. We drive it back to the commissary. I'm not out to be like, yo, I'm the best in New York. Because my whole thing is really just to pay homage to like those other guys who've done it before me, who've been around for 50 years, 30 years, 20 years, who've been doing it. You know, I just want to be like that next guy in line to like, be like, you know, you want a good Italian sandwich, this is where you go.